It's I don't know. There's just so much to talk about, man. I look at the entire situation, and I mean, we're talking about when I opened the show about the fact that it's mostly the big cities that are feeling the crunch, but it doesn't mean that it's any better in other states. Because what happens in most other states is there is fuel, but it's overpriced. We're hearing ridiculous prices from the southeast, for example, of people selling fuel for $2.80 per liter, $300 per liter. Filling stations are open, and it's almost ridiculous when you hear all of these statements from government agencies saying anybody who sells above the price will be prosecuted. Their filling stations will be shut down. But I mean, that's what is really happening now, and it's almost like you're buying black market from an official seller. Yeah, it's really well. Let's once again give them the benefit of the doubt. But I want to say, how do you think this affects 2019 now? Because President Buhari has had his fair share of drama, you know. But seeing as this is one that has definitely affected everybody. I mean, there's no party lines this time now with this one. How do you think this affects the run-up to the elections, which has already started?
So the unfortunate thing about our system, I still go back to our system, is that at the last minute, things are going to change, things are going to improve, and it will seem like it's actually doing stuff.
We have very short memories, mostly.
Very short memories. We're very forgiving people. We don't do proper research. I'm sorry, I'm speaking for all Nigerians, but we don't do intense research. The majority of the people who are going to vote are people who are from the poor sectors of the country, poor demography. They are the majority. They have the bulk of the numbers. There are people whose votes can be bought with 5,000 naira here, 2,000 naira there, a bag of rice and all that. So the middle class was supposed to push this change. They're not enough. But the way 2015 played out, we're hoping it plays out that way again, where the people actually unanimously decide, oh, okay, so we're sending this guy out. He's lost his goodwill. All the goodwill he rode on in 2015, he has lost it. He has lost it by a mile. We're hoping for better. We're hoping for better. We hope that the frontline candidates that challenge him are good enough, are strong enough to actually do better.
Are you saying there's no saving the Buhari presidency at this stage? You don't think things can turn around? I mean, he still has about a year and a half, pretty much.
Whatever he's doing now is campaign. Everything he's doing now is actually campaign. He has, I mean, we've gone into a recession. So people say the recession was unavoidable, but I believe his policies ensured it happened. His bad policies ensured it actually happened. We've gone into a recession. We've gone through fuel scarcity. We've gone through NSAS, where he did not even say a word about it. Actual brutality. We've gone through a whole lot. So all the goodwill he rode on, we know he can't make promises at this point. For somebody who wants to run again, he has to say, okay, this is what we did, and this is how we're going to consolidate on what we did. You can't be making promises at this point, which is what he rode on before. So I feel like it's going to be tough. He's still popular in some parts of the country. It's going to be quite tough. We'll see how it plays out as 2019 comes close.
Well, it's a short time away, but it's still some while away. I mean, a year is a long time in Nigeria. A week is a long time in Nigeria. So we'll see what happens in 2018 to be precise. But speaking of the elections and speaking of promises, the fight against insurgency and against insecurity was one of the biggest things that Mr. President did campaign on when he was coming in 2015. And Boko Haram has been back in the news again, but not even for what they're doing, but the money's been allocated to them. Recently, we heard about $1 billion been allocated to fight insurgency, and people are a little confused as to why the amount is that huge, seeing as the fight is not, at least by the words of the government, not so big anymore. They've tried to convince us as to why this is important. Are you buying it?
First of all, the means through which they decided to withdraw that. I mean, I won't call myself a legal luminary or anything, but I feel like before you withdraw that kind of money from the excess crude account, you have to consult the Senate. You have to talk with them. The Senate has to approve it. Not just a bunch of governors sitting together. They don't have constitutional rights to actually do that. So if they've withdrawn the money, I think the next step is to tell us how they're actually going to spend it. The war on terror, according to them, is basically over since they're now attacking soft targets. I think those are their words. And the war on terror is what they should consolidate, and then ensure it actually ends totally. But before that money is approved, before the money is disbursed, I feel like they should actually list out all the things they're going to do with it, and then let it go through all the auditors, all the people who are supposed to go through it to ensure it is not a funnel for funds for 2019 elections. Because, I mean, we all vote on to conspiracy theories, and that's one of the theories I'm postulating, that they're withdrawing funds.
But I mean, the one thing, as much as the fight against Boko Haram Haram has not completely been won. The one thing I think Nigerians would agree on is the fact that things are definitely better today.
Yes.
I mean, Abuja is much safer than it was. Yes. The Northeast, even though they used to have the attacks, the sporadic attacks, most people are sort of back to, you know, their daily lives and all of that. So things are a lot better now. So why then are we questioning, saying as they have done a good job there?
Have they done a completely good job? Yes, they have tried. And we know terror is really, really hard to defeat. Terrorism is really, really, it's a global menace. So yes, they've tried. They've made efforts and all that. Yeah, but $1 billion without an actual plan, actual timeline of activities, actual breakdown of how the money is going to be spent. And we're not questioning them. Our civil society groups are not necessarily questioning them because we're battling fuel scarcity at this point. I mean, it's really, really, it's questionable. It's now a matter of trust. They've tried to some extent, but then $1 billion after they've done all this work, what exactly is it for? Let us see all the details, and then we know it's fine.
Yeah. So basically, you feel like Nigeria will be convinced. Nigerians will be convinced if they know what the money is.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
On a final note, now I'm just this might probably. I mean, we have one more show to end the year, but just looking at the year in general. I mean, it was a year where we barely had our president around. I think he came back at some point in May or June. I'm not sure exactly. It's been a very weird year. Nigeria was still battling recession, but we tried to sort of come out of it. We don't know if we're fully out of it yet because we grew by not even up to a percentage point. Looking at the year as a whole now, and I want to talk about President Buhari in particular now, how would you feel he should tackle 2018?
Well, 2017 was, the early parts of 2017 was terrible. He wasn't here. He wasn't here most of the time. I mean, the early parts, most of the time he wasn't here. There wasn't much to talk about. Like, people, the biggest conversations were around where is Buhari, where is President Buhari, not about what he's doing to change some of the stuff. So since he's around, and thankfully I think he's healthier now, thankful for that. I think he should hit the ground running. He should actually hit the ground running this time around and ensure that the budget that has been, I think it's in the Senate, I think it should be ratified on time, and then they should start executing stuff. Start executing stuff as soon as possible. And I think they should put politics. Of course, politics is important, but they should put politics at the background. Let them actually focus on working. Let them leave all those shenanigans. We're tired of them. We're frustrated with them.
Well, thank you very much, Chidi. The one thing that I know for sure is that by this time next year, we'll know whether he's going to be running or not. Most people say they swear he will, but we haven't heard from Mr. President yet. But hey, Nigeria still needs to work, and that's the most important thing. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
We'll take a quick break now. When we'll come back, we'll continue with our Christmas special here on Rubbin. So let's dance now, it is my turn. Just want you.